Good morning, afternoon or evening, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, for what is going to be nothing short of another jam-packed daily market update. I'm wishing you all a fantastic Thursday. As always, quite a bit to cover. Really, we're going to get straight into it, and I want to start things off by looking at how an altcoin that did exceptionally well for me progressed in the last bull market. And the reason that I'm doing this, I did this as an exercise with my patrons, but we looked at more altcoins and actually compared some of them in regards to market cap and size, like Ethereum, for example, with something like HBAR and the journey that it has ahead of it. And it's a very useful exercise because everybody wants these 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, in Cardano's case, 100 plus X returns, but nobody's willing to endure the kind of volatility that comes with that. Big risk, big reward. And ultimately, with these altcoins, because of the kind of nature of the space or the stage of the space that we're in, you get these really deep, volatile pullbacks. And if we look at Cardano's journey from the sort of March 2020 crash all the way to the peak of the bull market for it back in, I think it was August, it topped out going into the Alonso hard fork, you can see how many devastating crashes there were, and they aren't really crashes in the cryptocurrency space, but there were many frequent pullbacks, some as severe as 60+%, 40% was frequent, 50%, 30%. You can see all of these. There were many of these pullbacks on its journey to do 100 plus X. And why I encourage people to invest on a non-advisory basis, of course, because I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, and not trade, is because how the hell, I personally believe I'm a better trader than probably 99% of you watching this right now. Maybe there's one or two people out there that have been doing trading for a long time, perhaps have even proven that they can do it. But I know my own abilities, and I know I can't time every peak and trough in what is a broader uptrend trajectory, so why even bother? You've only got to get that wrong once to have to pay the price. And if we look at all these pullbacks, they were just a part of Cardano giving the kind of return that it did. And we could look at Ethereum, we could look at some of the other altcoins that did exceptionally well, and they all have the same DNA in the sense that this space is exceptionally volatile. Right now, some of you are looking at your altcoin portfolios and you're going, you took 100 grand into this year, you might now have 60. But at the end of the year, you might have 500, a million. There's a process to getting those returns that everybody wants, and that's stomaching and enduring volatility that we're all experiencing. And again, the best way to do that is through investing and understanding the broader trend. I believe through the concept of phase analysis, which we teach in our Patreon, and I also do talk about it a lot on here, and riding that for those big multiples. Don't try and time or listen to anybody that tells you that they can do this successfully. I love it when you see those dots. You see the red dot and then the green dot on each perfect high and bottom. If it was that easy, everybody would do it, guys. But don't try and time every perfect top and bottom in what is, an exceptionally or a very clear broader uptrend, which is where the majority of your altcoin sector is. Also, when we look at the total cryptocurrency market cap, really this is just a breakout and a retest. It's no coincidence that the entire cryptocurrency space is hovering around its all-time highs. After breaking out from them on volume, it will push off from this. And of course, we do have technical targets for the total cryptocurrency market cap, for Bitcoin, for ETPs, for miners, etc., etc. So that's really where I want to start it, because there's a lot of frustration. We always notice it. The comment section terms a little bit sour. Not from the overwhelming majority, but certainly we notice a few people sort of venting in there. Go and do something productive. Go and exercise. Go and do something to keep your mind off of staring at a portfolio. And really, I think there's a lot of people out there that are completely looking a gift horse in the mouth. This space offers insane potential, insane ROI potential. But nobody's willing to stomach and hold through the volatility that is just inherent with it. And we're very much repeating what took place in certainly 2020, 2021. But actually, I think rather interestingly, 2017, certainly you could relate that to the dollar scenario that Julian Bittle is looking at, that I need to do an entire video on because it's worth a video of its own. And then, of course, how does that relate? to the cryptocurrency space, which it's very much going to help. Let's talk about a little bit of news now we got that out of the way of. So the markets, just to finish off, and we'll dive over to Bitcoin, a little bit more chirpy today. I really think, of course, we've got a lot of technical confluence in regards to the direction Bitcoin's going, but I really think, this is just range bound at the moment, and it will break out of it, and we will see continuation, and the space will go with it. And these kind of, down periods that have been kind of over-exemplified by macro events and liquidations through leverage in the cryptocurrency space. We saw, just think about that, the biggest liquidation event of all time, including FTX, Luna, etc., and we didn't really move that much, and that's how far this space has come. I know Charles Hoskinson said that. And just to remind people, yesterday we saw the second largest buy from BlackRock in regards to Ethereum in history. And this is very much in the sort of black. We have Bitcoin's price action. Then we have large investors in the sort of purpley blue. And then we have retail investors. And you can see that large investors are accumulating, retail's getting shaken out. And that's what this is designed to do. And if you had got shaken out on even one of these sort of pullbacks for Cardano, your ROI would have drastically diminished. And it really would have been a shakeout in what is a broader uptrend. So I wanted to show this to kind of kick things off. This is an altcoin that did very well for me. I didn't quite get the 100x, but I wasn't far off, along with many others out there. Not quite 100x, something like Ethereum 40 plus X, etc. I did actually post a receipt for my Patreon yesterday, but just understand the broader context and the broader trend. I want to dive into a quick reply from Brad Garlinghouse. Any criticism of today's press conference is absolutely missing the forest for the trees. Having the chief chair of the Senate Banking, the chief of the House of Financial Services, the chair of Senate Agricultural, and the chair of House Agricultural join the crypto czar to commit to passing legislation for crypto clarity is 100% a big deal and something we haven't seen before. So I agree with Brad. I think there was a lot of frustration on the back end of this because certain cryptos weren't dropped. The digital stockpile perhaps didn't mention specific cryptos like the ones potentially it's going to, like HBAR, XRP, XLM, these sort of cryptos. But ultimately, really, that conference itself is a testimony to just how far we've came as an industry, and it's only going to continue. There's not just an amazing technical picture being painted here, but there's also an amazing fundamental one, and you've really got to be in it to win it. And we very much think, we're long and strong in this market. Eric Trump, going a bit crazy over there on Twitter. Feels like a great time to enter Bitcoin. He also said something about buying Ethereum, sorry. I wish the Trump team would consult me in regards to what they should be looking into and what's actually far more impactful than the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of the others that they bought, although dove into Chainlink yesterday. Something big's coming for DeFi. We're going to see like traditional assets within the DeFi space. That's going to be an exceptionally interesting future that we're moving towards. And then interestingly, Eric Balanchunas reporting here, BlackRock is preparing to launch a spot Bitcoin ETF in Europe, domiciled in Switzerland. Don't know what the fee is yet. Will be variable. US ETFs blow away rest of the world in cost and liquidity. Indeed, they do. But either way, shows commitment for the world's biggest asset manager who has a big presence overseas. So Bitcoin's really now going to be pushed overseas. We already have altcoin products in Europe. That is all coming for the US eventually, and we're on the cusp of this. What is this? Musk proposes blockchain for treasury. This is another bit of interesting news. So there's so much going on. There's so much innovation with this space. I'm lucky enough to speak to some of the innovators. And also from an investment point of view, I really think this space is in a great position, but you've got to be able to hold. This is Cardano's price action in the last bull market. Through this, how do you risk manage for this? How do you stop loss for this? The best thing to do, honestly, is to hold when the time is right and sell when the time is right. Be in for a bull market, out for a bear market. Sounds very easy and simple. That's why we apply simple methods to it, like understanding a market conceptually through the different phases markets go through. But yeah, just a short and sweet one, guys. I've got a lot on today. If you haven't considered becoming a patron, do check it out. We're also launching a new platform where we can showcase courses and things like that. But that's really it from me, guys. I want you to all to have a fantastic Thursday. You've got to be in it to win it. Don't get disheartened. There's nothing out of the ordinary happening with the crypto space right now. In fact, the probabilities are overwhelmingly bullish in my opinion. That's it from me, guys. I'll see you all in the next one.